black actor from Night of the Living Dead, 1968 version.
Yep.
And his character was Ben.
Yep.
I don't think I remembered hearing his name in that movie.
It might have been used like once or twice. I don't know.
Yeah, like a throwaway scene or something like that.
Like, I
That's
think
so
you
weird.
get like an introduction to him, and that's about it. I don't think a lot of people really reference by their name too much. I mean, obviously everyone knows Barbara because of the whole opening scene. They're coming for you, Barbara. But
Yeah. And honestly, did you see the '90s remake? I think was it Tom Savini?
yeah,
who did
Tom
it?
Savini. Yeah, they had him direct it. George Romero wanted him to do that. He actually asked him
Yeah.
to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Barbara
It was
in
good.
that movie
I liked
is
it.
much. Yeah, she's way better in the remake than the original. The original, she's kind of just a fucking ice sculpture.
Well, in the remake, they kind of modeled the movie around her. You know what I mean? So you can add her to the strong female leads that people think just started coming up now, even though they go back, especially on horror movies and big horror movies. Well into the 70s and even earlier.
So, I know for a fact you didn't mention a couple other movies after the zombie movies.
Like what?
Well, some people will call them zombie, but I don't. They actually have a specific name. There's 3 of them. The third movie is nothing like the other 2.
Oh, you'd want the
Evil
Evil Dead
Dead.
series? Yeah, well, that's later. That's number 4. I was going to get into those movies.
I just when it comes to zombie, I just wanted to point it out that like those are not zombies.
Yeah, I don't consider them zombies either. They're kind of like possessed demons. That's how I see them.
Yeah.
I don't see them as zombies at all.
I just saw this list pop up because I was searching Night of the Living Dead, and Evil Dead popped up, and I'm like, no fucking way.
Well, that's why I was so
sorry.
hesitant there. I didn't know what you were talking about because honestly, I never really heard too many people call them zombies before. So that's why I was a little weird. I was like, I don't. Is that what he's getting at? I'm like,
fans of the movie do not call them zombies, but this article. That's so weird. It was like top 10 influential zombie movies, and it was on there, and I don't get that.
Top 10 influential zombie movies. Ugh, I own like over 100 zombie movies alone, and definitely Evil Dead is not in the top 10 influential zombie movie category.
But I wouldn't even put it in the zombie movie category.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Yeah, it doesn't even cross my mind as a zombie movie at all. Yeah, no. It's definitely in the top 10 possessed person, like demon movies though. Like I would
put it in the top 10 horror movies of all time because I think it's great.
I mean, yeah, that's a whole nother topic, but yeah, I would probably put it in the top 10 also. I'd have to put some serious thought in that, but yeah, it definitely probably in there.
If I made a top 10 horror movie list, I couldn't do it in order, and they would always change, but the same 10 would usually be up there.
Agreed.
But that's
I agree.
That is a different episode because I know it's going to cause a lot.
Yeah.
It's going to cause a lot of debate.
No, I agree. I couldn't put them in order from 1 to 10 either. It would just be like kind of like this list. There's 5 movies. Well, a couple of them, 2 of them are series that I'm getting into on my list, but yeah, like I wouldn't. Yeah, I couldn't put them in order. It'd just be 10.
Right, yeah, and just because like a movie's really good doesn't necessarily mean it was influential to us. You know what I mean?
Correct, which is why I left Friday the 13th off my list, even though it's my favorite slasher and Jason's one of my favorite characters of all time. It's not on this top 5 that influenced my life growing up or whatnot.
I know it sounds weird because I am a fan of like horror B movies and exploitation movies, and if people don't know what a Grindhouse was, it was a double feature that had like B movies, horror movies, exploitation, and 42nd Street was the world famous street in New York where all of the counterculture was happening. Yeah, there was drugs and there was prostitution and there was porno theaters, but there was
don't forget martial arts movies.
I was gonna say that you had your import Japanese movies, your your voiceover martial art movies. You had your basic horror movies and your B movies. Just like this huge counterculture subgenre that was right off Times Square, and basically it was like where all the cool kids hung out. You know, I mean, our definition of cool kids. You know. But
and not so cool kids and murderers and junkies and
they're
the riffraff of the city. But we're talking like the 70s and 80s of New York, like maybe even 60s. Just the it was just the shithole of the city. It's not like it is now.
Oh yeah, no. Basically, if Ron Jeremy's mustache like jumped off his face and formed a person, he would live on 42nd Street. You're like, that's how fucking slimy this place was. And I just wish it was like that, like in my adulthood. Just even if they started cleaning it up tomorrow, if I could have just spent like a week there, picked up some kind of habit and got clean when I got home, just just enjoyed it, So, but when I'm talking about influential movies, I didn't get into any of those movies until I was